Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. Accidental and negligent discharges of handguns have been in the news quite a lot lately. So let's talk about it from a safety standpoint. How do these things happen? What can we do to potentially prevent it? Now first, a bit of history of firearms. Back when I first started carrying, when I first got into law enforcement, my duty weapons were basically something like this, which is a revolver, or a 1911, and for a backup gun, this little Beretta. Those were basically the three choices. Now, what did I carry most often? I carried a revolver, and then I carried the Beretta for backup. Now, with a revolver, for those of you that, some of you have never even touched a revolver in your life because you're brand new to firearms, these things, accidental discharges, kind of sort of hard to do. Now, we always carried on a live chamber because you have one heck of a trigger pull right here. This means that having an accidental or negligent discharge with it, kind of hard to do because this is at least a 12 to 14 pound trigger, perhaps even more. Frankly, my trigger pull gauge goes out of limits when I test this. But did I ever have a negligent or an accidental discharge with a revolver? No, sir, not at all. Now, next mode of carry, 1911. Triggers on these though, way different. Instead of having the heavy trigger pull of the revolver, this on the other hand, just a slight touch and it will go like that. And to show you how easy this is done, I'm going to take plastic handle, a toothbrush here, and simulate getting something just on that trigger ever so slightly, and there it goes. Now, going back to the revolver, can I do it with a revolver? See this toothbrush bend? I am not even getting this trigger to budge. Let's go to a current polymer version like this Glock 19. Same toothbrush. Wow, that was easy, wasn't it? So a little obstruction, keys in the pocket, or just getting your finger on it and away it goes. Big differences in triggers. So understand what it is that you're carrying. Now let me talk about a couple of accidental discharges. One that I happened to see a video of was a gentleman who was doing an appendix carry. He reholstered the firearm, and from everything that I could see in the video, nothing jumped out at me that was wrong. Guy was wearing a t-shirt, he pulls it up, he reholsters, it goes into what appears to be a Kydex holster. Everything seemed fine until the man bent over. He bent over to either pick up something or whatever was on the floor that got his attention. The moment that he bent over, bang, off it went. He jerks the gun out. He even jerked out the Kydex holster and is having somebody call 911. Why did it go off? Who really knows? But in many situations like that, it happens on these new polymer pistols, I still call them new, is when you can get a piece of a garment, just a piece of your shirt, or in some instances, even the drawstrings on hoodies or jackets. Get in here, and it's just enough that even when somebody goes to holster and they push forward, off it goes. Well, that can be a little bit of a problem. In another example, somebody had a handgun of some sort in their pocket and they're fishing around in their pocket for something, it goes bang. And folks, it happens. Now, you might say, well, I've heard of pocket carry. There's a difference between carrying something small like this in your pocket the right way versus the wrong way. The right way is having this in a actual sleeve. Do not have it loose in your pocket, first and foremost. Second rule, don't have anything else in the pocket. No keys, no nothing. Because if I have car keys in here and this would happen to get in, it could set it off. Now with this Beretta, is this key going to move this trigger? No, this is a really stiff trigger. However, if it was cocked and locked and somehow this got disengaged and I happen to do this, there you go. Now, for people that are going, oh, he just, dropped that on a rimfire. All right, here we go. I had a snap cap in there because I'm not going to dry fire on rimfire. Not happening. So have these in a sleeve, nothing else in the pocket, because your finger can get on it and all kinds of bad things can happen. Now, one thing that I witnessed at a big box store, my daughter and I were going through the checkout, and gentleman had a wallet and he's holding it like this, in this position, and notice where the barrel is. He was muzzling himself, but gun came out with wallet. Not a good thing. And what else tends to live in our pockets? I mean, if you're a normal person, what collects in your pockets? Lint, dust, dirt, grime, debris, all of which can do what to the end of the barrel? It can create an obstruction, which creates another safety hazard. If you were to go to fire a firearm and the barrel is obstructed, something really bad can happen. It literally can blow up in your hands. That is obviously a bad thing. So what am I saying in all this? Basically, I'm saying, think about what you're carrying. There are so many people that are brand new to concealed carry in the United States. It isn't even funny. And a lot of folks are so new to it, they have never handled guns before until they got their concealed carry permit or whatever it is called in your state or jurisdiction. And they didn't grow up with guns. Many, many examples like that. The thing is, with any firearm, I don't care if it's an old muzzle loader, if it's an old flintlock, a black powder like a Remington 1870 pistol or something like that. You have to respect them. You need to be very much aware of what they're capable of and also know what your capabilities are. Because back in the day when I was in law enforcement, obviously this was worn outside the waistband or in a shoulder holster. But because of the strength of that trigger, it was very, very difficult to ever even think about an accidental discharge. But with modern technology, and I'm not saying the revolvers are old and ancient technology, but with these type of polymer guns that we have today, all it takes is very little pressure and you can have an accidental discharge, and it can have sometimes tragic results. So if you have limited training, please get more training in handling firearms. Seek out a competent, certified instructor that can help you along the journey, because it's an investment. And not only do you just go to a course one time, but training is an ongoing lifetime sort of thing. Do not ever get lackadaisical Don't get lazy when it comes to firearms handling, because the moment that you lose respect for something like that is the moment that Murphy's Law can catch up to you and something bad can happen. You can, as an example, just as an allegory, metaphor, whatever you want to call it, you can be a professional snake handler and you can have gone your entire career and not gotten bit. And one day you get a little bit lax and then that pit viper sinks its fangs into your hand. That could be bad. So anyway, a lot of that stuff has been happening, and it's something that we all have to watch out for, because there's not any one of us that is completely perfect in this world and impervious to having an accident. So know your limitations and also follow all safety protocols. So that's what I got to say. Glad to be back on. See you folks again. And until next time, everybody, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And of course, have a good one and